Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining this session. I would like to thank Futurize Institute for arranging this webinar session on a very important topic that sits at the intersection of two powerful forces, academic knowledge and artificial intelligence, and how their integration is not only reshaping our world, but is also essential for building a truly sustainable future. While we are fixing the presentation, I will just ask for a little patience. So we live in a time where climate change, resources, depletion, and societal inequalities demand urgent innovation and inclusive solution. Academia, with its depth of research and critical thinking, has a long been the foundation of progress. On the other hand, AI brings speed, scalability, data-driven precision, and the problem solutions. So we once thought it was too complex or too slow to solve. So my name is Dr. Sharbano, and my journey has been rooted in both academic research and strategic relationship. I have served as the head of academics and outreach at Fujairah Research Center in the UAE, where I had the chance to lead research collaborations, academic partnerships, and innovative-driven projects. Prior to that, I had the privilege to work as a researcher at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, in the United States of America, and at the Bahçeşehir University in Istanbul, Turkey. Currently, I'm also representing the UAE chapter of the Project Monarch. It's a global initiative focused on building sustainable models for the beyond Earth, which is which lessons deeply relevant to our plans today. And alongside, I work with Shamrock Academic Solutions, and I help researchers and students enhance their publication and academic impact. So a very brilliant computer scientist, Dr. Fei Li, who is a pioneer of the work in the AI, especially computer vision, and she also established ImageNet dataset that enable rapid advances in computer vision in the last decade. She quoted that artificial intelligence is not a substitute for human intelligence. It's a tool to amplify human creativity and ingenuity. So this webinar is not about AI replacing academia. It's about showing how thoughtful application of AI can amplify the impact of research, enhance teaching and learning, and bringing academic work closer to solving real-world sustainability challenges. Throughout this session, I'll walk you through practical examples, career pathways, AI tools, and collaborative models that are transforming academic contribution into tangible global change. Let's move further. To set the stage, let's see how deeply AI has already entered academic space. According to our 2024 study by Campus Technology, 86% of students have reported using AI tools. And what's even more telling is that 24% use them on daily basis. This is This is not just a trend, it's a shift in how students learn, research, and engage with academic contents, from writing support, coding assistance, to summarizing complex papers. Students are finding AI tools incredibly accessible and time saving. As educator, researcher, or professionals in academia, we need to ask, are we adopting fast enough to guide this usage responsibly and effectively? Because AI is no longer optional. It's already part of the academic ecosystem, and we are in no way to deny this. Moving further, the CEO of NVIDIA also quoted that coding is dead and AI will make English the new programming language. No lie in that. And it's going to happen. It's already happening. And our next slide exactly illustrate how quickly the job market is also evolving. So globally, over 10% of the workers hired today are in the roles that didn't even exist in the year 2000. And in the US, it's closer to be 20%. That tells us just how fast workplace is transforming. And look at the some most common job titles on the right. Roles like data analyst, full stack engineers, social media managers, and data scientists. These careers are largely built to the rise of digital technologies, and AI has now become a core enabler behind many of them. This shift means one thing for all of us, whether you are academia, research, or early in your career, staying relevant requires continuous skill building, especially in AI, data literacy, and interdisciplinary collaborations. The good news is AI doesn't just change the job market, it also helps us to prepare for it. From skill-based learning platform to personalized paths, AI is part of both the problem and the solution for us. Moving further, take the example from across the Netherlands. Even in the UK and the USA, I think it's the previous slide, the role of artificial intelligence engineer is now ranked as the number one fastest growing job. It's spreading across industries including finance, healthcare, education, and public services. We are also seeing a surge in related roles like AI consultants, data governance managers, and even information security officers, all of which requires AI related expertise. Yeah, so you can see. And what's especially notable is that the rise of leadership roles like head of AI in the US alone. Uh, the numbers of companies with this position has tripled in just 5 years. And in the last 2 years, we have seen more than 50% increase. You can see in the table, like that's just not a trend, that's shift in organizational structure. And all this information is produced by the LinkedIn Special Reports. And according to the 2024 Work Trend Index by the Microsoft and LinkedIn, 75% of the global knowledge workers are now using generative AI tools at work. Many of them are adopting it just in the past year. So we are preparing students and professionals for the future. AI needs to be a part of their academic and career roadmap today. So, academia has always been the cornerstone of knowledge, traditionally focused on education, fundamental research, intellectual exploration. This foundational role remains important, but today's world demands more. We are seeing a clear shift towards solution oriented research. Their academic work is not just about publishing papers, but about solving real world challenges. Whether it's climate change, resource scarcity, or global inequality, there are no there are now three primary research paths that reflect the evolution: academic research, which continues to push the boundaries of theoretical knowledge; interdisciplinary exploration, where fields like AI, environment sciences, and policies are intersecting. And then we have the applied research, which is focused on creating tangible solutions that can be implemented outside university walls. So, academia totally has the responsibility to translate knowledge into action, to connect research with the impact, and that's where AI becomes powerful enabler. It accelerates analysis, simulation, decision making, and it's helping academia contribute more effectively to urgent global goals. And now the question stays how universities can integrate AI into sustainability, curricula, and the research. We have to go deeper in understanding what the question means and what the solution is. Now let's look at the more real-world examples of how AI is already benefiting education and research beyond just theory. There is a AI tutor by Khan Migo. Its name is Khan Migo by Khan Academy. It interacts with the students in the real time, helping them to think through problems instead of just giving the answers. It is a great example of how AI can support critical thinking and personalized learning. Then we have in assessment tools like Gradescope by Turnitin. Turnitin is a very well known plagiarism detection tool, and every researcher who is publishing knows about it. They have launched a Gradescope. It is being used in universities worldwide to speed up grading, maintain consistency, and even highlight learning gaps across batches. Then we have PaperPal. There are so many prestigious journals who are using PaperPal for the writing assistance, and they are using it for the correction of some of the issues in the grammars of their research papers. It checks grammar, it improves clarity, and even ensures your writing aligns with the journal standards. This is one of the very best tools that needs to be used by the researchers who are working on their research papers. On a broader scale, adaptive learning platforms like Squirrel AI and Newton adjust the space and the content based on the learner's performance, making learning more efficient and personalized for the people who are effectively using it. These tools aren't replacing educators or researchers, which is more focusing on, it's not replacing, it's enabling. They're amplifying their capabilities. And as AI matures, these examples will only get more integrated into academic workflows. So one of the most time-consuming aspects for academic research is the literature review. Finding relevant work, understanding trends, and identifying gaps. This is the main thing which every researcher is doing before he start even his project to understand if his project is really novel or somebody else has already done it. So thankfully, AI and automation have started transforming this process and making it more easy. So let's walk through the key tools. There is a research rabbit. It helps visualize how studies are connected through citations. There are research papers, sometimes we cite one research paper, but then we understand that it is actually citing back some other research paper, and the other research paper is citing back another research paper, and eventually we are not citing in our research paper the real reference that needs to be there. We are just citing the reference that's cited, that reference already. So to remove this issue, we need to use Research Rabbit easily, and it's a great for tracking the evolution of research topics over time. Then we have connected papers. Again, it allows to input one paper and instantly see network of related work, even from adjacent field. It's excellent for topic explorations. Then we have lit maps. It builds a timeline of literature and sends alerts when new relevant papers are published. And it makes it useful for maintaining a live literature review. Of course, you cannot update the paper which is already published, but you can use this tool to enhance the next paper that's coming in the same series. Then we have Elicit. It's a powerful AI assistant, and it answers the research questions by pulling summarizing results from existing papers. And it is ideal for systematic reviews. The next tool, which is very impressive, is Cite AI. It goes a step further by showing how a paper is cited and whether it is being supported, contrasted, or simply mentioned. This adds critical depth to your review. So Cite AI and Research Rabbit are a perfect tool to understand, are you even citing the real reference or no? And then we have Semantic Scholars. The Semantic Scholar uses AI to extract key points from the paper again. Some people like Semantic Scholar, some people can use the other tools. And the Semantic Scholar highlights influential studies and even summarizes the abstract, which saves a lot of time. These tools are not only saves time, but it also make literature review strategic and comprehensive and less error prone. So one of the most practical use of the AIs in academia is natural language processing or NLP, particularly in scientific writing. Um, Most of the researchers who are writing their papers are not native English speakers. If we're talking about the English language journals, there are other language journals as well, specific to certain regions, and they're because of the language restrictions, their reach is different and limited than the English language research journals. So the NLP tools are lifesavers. They are helping in crafting and removing most of the language issues coming in their writing phase. So it's a barrier for so many researchers, and the AI are actually bridging that gap by offering real-time intelligent sports. Tools are like most of the people know Grammarly. There is Trink as well. There is Writeful, Paperpal I already mentioned, and there is grammar automatically grammar correction tools as well, paraphrasing and coherence improvement tools as well, that just maintain the formal academic tone but correct your whole language. But while you're using all these tools, you need to be very careful. The main aim or the overall things about your paper are not changed. The aim stays the same. The meaning stays the same. So meaning won't change. Sometimes it happens, we use these tools and overall meaning is just changed. So we have to be very careful while using these tools in our papers. And moreover, there could be plagiarism issues as well. So everybody needs to use these tools by being very careful. And then there are so many platforms that suggest keywords. There are different keywords we need to use for the research writing, for the academic writing, that are way different than the normal conversation. So we have to be, there are some tools that are suggesting the keywords that can be used. What is the result of all these? More time for research and critical thinking. We won't have to spend too much time into writing now to look for better keywords. We can spend the time now in the research and critical thinking. And it's a less time getting stuck on the wording, formatting, or finding the right phrase. It just doesn't replace the researcher, it amplifies and sharpens the time and expression of a researcher. So as we can see that AI becomes more integrated into the education. One of the most essential skills student can learn, even from an early stage, is prompt engineering. And I'm advocating this really well. Now, prompt engineering isn't just about talking to the ChatGPT or similar tools. It is about thinking clearly, framing the questions, and knowing how to extract useful information from intelligent systems. This shift means we need to rethink how we teach. That's a very important point for the teachers and the instructors. Instead of pushing students to memorize every detail, we should focus on helping them understand core concepts deeply. Because AI can help with retrieval but not with reasoning unless it's guided well. So imagine teaching biology, chemistry, physics, or math using the AI tools where students don't just memorize formulas, they ask the right questions, test scenarios, and explore cause-effective relationships using guided prompts. This prepares them not only for exams, but for the real-world problem solving. Prompt engineering is quickly becoming the new literacy, and just like reading or coding, it should be embedded in early curriculum, especially in fundamental subjects like the chemistry, biology, physics, maths, and of course, programming. And if we talk about few examples in the prompt engineering, I just sorted few of the examples you can see. If we take the first example, why do some plants close their leaves at night? Can I grow one at home and observe it? Give me step-by-step guide. Now, if you look deeper, this is just not a biology question. It leads into topics like plant physiology, circadian rhythm, environmental responses, and even scientific observations at home. The AI response would guide the students not only through the science, but also offers experiment learning activity. And this will make the students' knowledge tangible. Now look at the second one. Why is the sky blue, not green? What would happen if the sky were green? And I remember having such questions in my mind in my early stages of my school. So this is a great example of physics prompt that explores light scattering, color perceptions, and atmospheric science. But it also invites imagination and hypothesis building. Curiosity will be satisfied with such kind of prompts when the students are using prompt engineering very effectively. These types of prompts train students to think like a scientist. They ask, they explore, and experiment. And when paired with AI prompt engineering, It turns every question into an interactive learning journey without the intimidations of the textbooks and exams. So, one of the most exciting and emerging ideas in education is concept of personalized self-taught GPT. Essentially an AI assistant that adapts to students' unique thinking style and learning pace. Rather than using a standard chatbot interface, students could learn how to train GPTs based on their own preferences, their own styling, their whether they think visually, they explore questions, or need step-by-step breakthrough. And they also can name their GPTs like Logic GPT, Reflect GPT, BioBuddy GPT. For biology experiment, they want to do the experiment at home. They train all their GPTs based on their own knowledge. And over time, these AI models could represent answers differently for each student. And the issue of every student bringing the same style, it will be resolved. Some might prefer analogies, others might need diagrams, while some might ask for historical context or simplified definitions. The goal is not to make the student dependent on the AI, but to make their language their learning process. They can use their own language and they learn so many things. They become more intuitive, engaging, and independent by using these AI enablers. And when learners feel understood, they are far more likely to stay curious. And this is where the true power of personalized AI in education lies. So, next is an example. If we talk about the use cases, uh, there are so many effective use cases that can be shown and that can be talked about. And this is one example where the academic research directly applies AI for sustainable real world outcome. Specifically, it's from my time at Fuji Research Center. One of the research goal was to detect stress in camels, especially those used in the racing. So traditionally, understanding animal stress relies heavily on physical observations or invasive testing, but by using AI models trained on physiological data and behavioral pattern, we could detect stress indicators more accurately and in the non-invasive manners. And another interesting use case we could work on is comparing different securing methods, um, such as curing camels from the head versus the legs, and analyzing their impact on stress levels and overall racing. These projects are great example how academic insight combined with AI modeling can lead to better animal welfare and it optimize the performance and more ethical practices in local industries. And it directly aligned with sustainability goals of the region. One example I would like to mention because of these experiments, I recall one of the incident where these systems, when installed in the camera in one of the cages, it detect the delivery of one camel. So anybody who is living in the UAE and dealing with the camels, they know that this process is very critical and camels get depressed in a very strange way. So that's why this study is very important. So camels are stressed in a very strange way when they give birth. They are stressed and they don't take care of their baby. And sometimes the baby dies on the ground, and sometimes it just dies by the tapping of the by under the feet of the camel itself. So one of the incident, the delivery was being shown on the camera, alarmed the vet, and the person the in charge of the cage reached exactly at the point at the very proper time and saved the baby and took the baby out and saved it. So this is a very good example and how because cameras are very expensive. So it's like, and because of the welfare of the animals, these integrations are very important, and it satisfies the sustainability goals of the region. So this slide shows the study has been published in three to f- 3 to 4 different studies on different platforms as a research journal publications as well, and the conference proceeding as well. And this is just three mentions, and there are 2 or 3 more studies published on the same camel stress projects by the FRC and me when I was the part of the team. And next, another impactful project I had the opportunity to work on in the Fujairah Center was the development of the Fujairah honey chain. This initiative is actually to build a blockchain-based framework for monitoring and verifying honey production across different regions and the different stages from hive to harvest, processing, and distribution. Why is that important? Yes, it's a very good question why it's important. In the UAE, the honey is not only a culturally significant product, but also a key element in natural product economy. The challenge actually lies in the maintaining transparency, authenticity, and sustainability in production chain. In London, one of the competition was cancelled because the submitted samples from more than 70% of the countries were not authentic. They were having some kind of adulteration in it. They were fed, the bees were fed on the syrup, they were not natural, and so many honey samples, we cannot distinguish between them with naked eye or some very non-invasive kind of experimentation. We need special lab techniques to understand if the honey is authentic or not. One of them was also the pollen identification inside the honey to see if the honey belongs to the flora or the plants that are mentioned on the label or no. So, so in the FSC, it's about the traceability of every batch of the honey and monitoring the hive condition and bee health. So in the blockchain, all these steps will be are mentioned, and it prevent the adulteration and mislabeling. So the user, the client, can just see where the honey is coming from the pictures. Each step is mentioned, and there is no way somebody can mislead the client if the Fujairah honey chain is properly employed. And it also support the beekeepers and sustainable practices. So this is the perfect example of bridging digital innovation and environmental sustainability guided by academic research and community needs. And it also showcased how AI and blockchain can work hand in hand to preserve the biodiversity. And it also ensures product quality, and it also, in return, enhance the local economy. Our next slide shows the the research that from the same project being published, and this is just a one publication, and the rest of the 2 or 3 publication are in way based on only one project, and how important this blockchain application in honey is. So one more example of academia and AI for real world impact is Plantify. It's a project I supervised as a part of an apprenticeship program with Higher Colleges of Technology in Fujairah and Fujairah Center. And the idea was to build an AI-based mobile app that helped users identify native plant species in the UAE. And a user can simply snap a photo of a plant, and the app will instantly return details about the species, family habitat, and ecological important. And what makes this unique is blend of student-driven innovation, academic supervision, and AI application. And again, it supports the sustainability and it supports sustainable land use, education, and environmental preservance. So this project is still ongoing, and the final product might be launching soon. And we move to the next example, which is truly a groundbreaking example, and I personally love it. It's an example of AI transforming science. It is the work actually done by DeepMind in collaboration with the academic and the global research institutions, and through their model called AlphaFold. AlphaFold tackled one of the grand challenge in biology in the drug discovery and designing using computer systems and AI. It's the prediction of the 3D structure of proteins from their amino acid sequence. It's a very hard project. It's a very hard project, and it's a very critical topic. And understanding these structures is actually crucial for everything from drug design to disease research, and time is a main factor as well here. So what's actually remarkable in the AlphaFold was it able to predict the structures of over 200 million proteins. It covered nearly every non-protein sequence. And it is an achievement that would have taken decades using traditional lab-based methods and sequencing methods. And its developers at DeepMind were awarded the Breakthrough Prize in the Life Sciences in 2023, to my knowledge. And this actually award is referred as the Oscar to Science, Oscars of the Science. And another powerful example of the AI application in academia is remarkable work done by the MIT Climate Lab in the USA. They have been using the neural networks to generate high-resolution climate predictions. Traditional climate models are computationally intensive, and they often are limited in spatial details, which makes them less useful and less useful in the local level decision making. But with AI, the MIT researchers have created models that not only simulate long-term climate trends, but also offers detailed forecast for specific regions and shorter time frames. Very important thing is this enables cities, governments, and infrastructure planners to prepare for the issues like rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and heat waves. And what extra this work? What is the important thing that make this work impactful is it moves climate modeling from theoretical forecast to actionable intelligence. It is something that is essential way we try to build sustainable, resilient societies. This part is very much important, and that's another example, which is amplifying the normal life. It's not replacing the science; it's amplifying our normal life. And there are other examples of tools like LabTwin, benching, which helps automate experimental workflows, track changes, and manage samples in real time. And important thing is all they use is voice commands or cloud-based dashboards. And it's a very good example that should be applied almost in every lab these days. It saves a lot of time, and it removes the problem of the human error. So we talk about the academia, how the AI is bridging this gap, and how important it is to upskill. Well, in today's world, actually, visibility is as important as the capability. especially in academia and AI-related field. As we discussed earlier, building a strong professional profile help you get noticed, cited, and corrected as well. To stay up to date, you need to create, the researchers need to create ORCID. It gives you a persistent digital ID to unify all your publications. So many platforms are now giving the options to merge your ORCID or CID to their platform, and we just don't need to upload our all of the publications. For some people that's in hundreds. If we give the or RCID, it can extract all the information from this profile and add it into your new profile on any other software that on any other platform that you're using. Then we have Google Scholar. Google Scholars, like it's a normal go-to tool if you wanna look for any researcher or any research paper, and if you want to contact to the scientists who have worked on that specific project that you're interested in. It tracks the citations and keep your academic output visible, and it also calculates some H index and other indexes based on their own matrices that are different than the ResearchGate matrices as well, or maybe different than that might be different from the other things as well. But for the information, there is another information section where you can see which matrix they are using, their H index or other index, how they are being calculated. So, and LinkedIn, very important. It optimized, when the LinkedIn is optimized well, it can bridge all the gaps between academia and professional opportunities, especially as industry and academia continue to overlap. As I was working in the FRC, there was an overlap in all the projects that we were doing. It was overlap between academia and the industry. All the projects were applied. So beyond online platform, we need to be intentional about conferences and participation in the conference in a way of as attendees as well as the presenters. We need to attend strategically and present if you can, and most importantly, network. Many career shaping connections begin our casual conversations at academic events. Excuse me. And lastly, seek out the mentorship. Mentorship opportunities are very much important. Sometimes it saves you a lot of years of learning when you have a mentor that already has passed through all the learning phase. And if you are one in the position to mentor, do it. Mentorship actually accelerates the growth and build the confidence, and it connects generations of learning. And a strong profile is not just your CV, it's your presence, it's your evolving presence in academia and professional world. As we have already discussed in our previous slide about the job market's shift, as we discussed, is shift or rapidly. The roles like AI engineer, data scientist, AI policy analyst, AI governance, and many others are growing very fast. But landing these roles isn't just about degree, it's about aligning your career path with the right skill sets. So whether we're in academia or just starting out, it's essential to develop fundamental skills like data literacy is very important. Researchers thinking and communication. Communication is very important because the person might be very intellectual, but if he cannot communicate his finding in a proper way, the whole data, whole his finding could be useless. And if we pair it with the emerging competences like prompt engineering, AI tools, ethical AI use, and domain-specific applications, it's a very good combination, and it could enhance your overall skill sets. And the most important career trajectory will be those that are interdisciplinary, flexible, and forward-looking, not fixed to a certain specific job, and but built around this revolving world and problem solving. So, while AI brings incredible opportunities, ease of the life, it also raises serious ethical concerns that we cannot ignore, especially in academic and research environment. First of all, there is a data privacy and surveillance issue. Many AI tools rely on large data sets, and sometimes they involve the personal and sensitive information as well. And it is very critical. It's very important that we use these tools with transparencies, and we should adhere to proper data governance. Secondly, I would talk about the biasness in the AI algorithms. It is a real issue. If the training data is biased, the results will be too. If we are reinforcing stereotype and excluding underrated, underrepresented groups, the final finding will be different than the unbiased data and unbiased algorithms. And this is a special problem in research that inform policies or healthcare. So wherever the governance and policy making is involved, the unbiased algorithm needs to be used wherever required. And finally, I must talk about the plagiarism and misuse of AI tools. As I talk about the AI tools in the academia, we should stop the misuse of it. AI actually make us capable of doing our work, generating entire essay, research draft in a very short time. But there is a very fine line between assistance and academic dishonesty. So educators and institutions needs to clear guidelines to protect academic integrity without discouraging innovation and the use of these AI tools. So the bottom line here is as we adopt to AI, we must develop a strong ethical framework to ensure it support fairness, inclusivity, and responsible use. Without this, AI can be a scary thing for the people who are using it and for the future and for the data or the literature that we are having for our future selves. And as we have covered a lot of ground today, from AI in academia, research to real world application, and future career paths. I thank you for joining this session on bridging academia and AI for sustainable future. I hope you are leaving today with fresh perspective, new tools, and sense of direction. Whether you're a student, researcher, or educator, and if you would like to continue the conversation or collaborate on any AI integrated academic or research projects, just feel free to reach out to me. And I'd be very happy to connect on LinkedIn or by email. And now I would like to hear from you. If you have any questions, thoughts, or even personal experiences related to use of AI, it's the time and feel free to share. Thank you very much. Yeah, I have one question which says, is the tool described or free or paid? Some of the versions are free, some of the versions are paid. Um, so like we have to check these tools are free or paid. The one I'm using, the PaperPal, sometimes they have their trial periods, and I would suggest to use the paid version if you are looking for research papers, because for the free versions there are some data privacy issues. So before using any tool, you have to check what are their data sharing standards and what are their data privacy standards. Gradescope is, of course, it's also from the Turnitin and it's also the paid version. You can get the free trial for a certain time period, but Gradescope basically being used by the institutions, so they are buying it for themselves because Gradescope again you have to upload these assignments or projects, and sometimes projects are private and there are concerns of confidentiality. So for grading, this one is paid version, and there is a free trial as well. But the better to use for your university purpose, or if you are an educator, Gradescope needs to be paid. You need to use the paid version if it is allowed by your university or your institution. I don't know about this one. If we can log in there individually or no, but I would suggest sometimes the Turnitin cannot you cannot buy these tools, and we need to give a corporate invoicing. We need to go through procurement teams, and we have to buy it through the institution. And I remember the use of Turnitin plagiarism detector, and it was quite expensive, but for the data privacy, you have to use expensive stuff, and it's all paid. And these are paid tools because of the main thing. Data is actually the bank, very important thing. So all the information, all the tools are based on the data. Either we talk about the uh, visual visuals, if we talk about the um, textual data, we cannot give our data to free sites. So that's why these tools are taking some money just to get so that your data can be private. And yeah, again, you have to all check if what are their data privacy guidelines. Well, there is a very nice question by Siraj. Uh, he's saying, will AI tool like ChatGPT replace the need to learn coding? And as I say, no, it's not. Although the NVIDIA CEO mentioned that coding is dead, but it's not like you have to learn the semantic, you need to understand the algorithm. So many examples. I by myself have tested the ChatGPT, and most of the time for the coding, one code in one window, the same you will write your question, and there will be a different code for you, and it's giving a different answer. And on the other window, it will give it a different code, and it's a different answer. So the main thing is again the whole all these problems solution converge into prompt engineering, how you are prompting in the ChatGPT. But when the prompting is done, it's not like you just ignore what's inside the code. You need to learn the code. You need to the understanding the code. Where could be the issue regarding that code? So not learn fully, but understanding it is the key. Then we have another question. How can we ensure that the next generation of AI researchers prioritize environmental and societal well-being? The whole start of the AI is basically based on environmental and societal well-being. There were, of course, like one question which is still people are not too confirmed about how we are gonna handle the carbon emission by using by using electronics, by using the batteries. and building the batteries, there is a huge carbon emission. Of course, this is actually a debate, but the whole starting process of AI research is basically prioritizing the environment and the well-being of the human race or the animal race as well, because there are so many examples, and you might have seen in the social media, so many people or the doctors are sharing how effectively and correcting in a corrective way the AI have detected certain kind of tumors or some diseases in some X-rays or the given data, like the visual from the visuals that have been given to them. So it's sometimes that took years and years and months to understand what the person has, where is the problem lies, if a person needs what kind of test needs to be done to understand. But the AI is actually giving quick solutions and quick diagnosis in many cases. So it's actually the good thing in the for the doctors. It's a good thing for the industry, the medical industry, and the good thing about the patient as well. They don't need to spend too much money on different kind of tests. So maybe with the AI, so many test requirements may be obsolete. Some lab testing may be obsolete, so it's safe for human. The clients might not be paying too much to just get diagnosed about certain things. So I don't see any more questions. I hope everybody enjoyed their session, and stay in contact. We must be holding few more seminars about different other topics as well. And stay tuned to the Futurize Institute LinkedIn page, and you can connect with me. My information is also given on the page. And thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.